Hello everybody, Psych with Psych's Wreck, Twisted Metal Head On Extra Twisted Edition. And yes, I know, I can already just feel the eyebrows raising in confusion, going, wait a minute. I'll get into that in due time. Just want to talk about this whole collection of whatever this is. Originally, it was just Twisted Metal Head On that was originally solely released for the PlayStation Portable, and then they released it on the PlayStation 2 with a bunch of little added extra bonuses. So, got the main game of Head On here, and then on this particular copy, there's bonus material, the Sweet Tour, which is kind of an interactive, almost like a platformer, where you play a Sweet Tooth and you run around a level that would have been in what would have been Twisted Metal Black 2, aka Twisted Metal Harbor City. And there's a bunch of little factoids, behind the scenes information, and concept sketches and things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. You know, the Dark Past, which is just a retrospective of more so Twisted Metal 1, 2, and Black, and a little bit of mention of 3 and 4, even though they weren't developed by the same people, so they kind of get pushed under the rug. And then the Lost Ending movies for Twisted Metal 1, for anybody who knows, the original Twisted Metal, all the characters had live-action cutscenes at the end of, if you complete the game with a character, then you would get a live-action ending, kind of like what they do with every game since then, except they're not live-action, they're all animated, but these ones used to be live-action, so they took all of them, put them together in this collection, and put it on this particular copy of Twisted Metal Head On Extra Twisted Edition. So that's pretty cool. Now with all that out of the way, let's move on to the other bonus part of this disc, Twisted Metal Lost. Go ahead and get right into it. Single player. I guess I'll do challenge, why not? And then of course gotta show off the Brimstone, which is exactly the same as Twisted Metal Black. Again, this was supposed to be the sequel to Twisted Metal Black, but it got canceled. But with all the content that they had made for this game, they took everything that they had, put it all together, and released it on the PlayStation 2 version of Twisted Metal Head On, including what would have been the Sweet Tour, because there was going to be platforming aspects to it. So that was pretty cool. And these 4 bonus levels that were originally going to be for Twisted Metal Harbor City that never got released, but they got released on this disc. So it's like a glorified demo, if you will, which is actually really cool. And you know, it's exactly the same as Twisted Metal Black. I actually just got done replaying through Twisted Metal Black very recently, like about 2-3 days ago. So it was really you know, fun to revisit that. So anyways, I guess we should get to the point where everybody was going, wait a minute, Psych, you said that you weren't going to do Twisted Metal Head On Extra Twisted Edition. You said so when you did Twisted Metal Black. We all remember. And to that I say, true, but I came to a realization about something the other day. I'd say about a week ago. I finally realized what I want the Wreck series to be. Because when I started the Wreck series, my intention was to show off Wreck-style vehicles in all the different games that have them. So it was supposed to be much more so about the vehicle. But as I was recording Just Cause 2, I think was when I finally came to the realization about it, I realized that, no, it's not about the vehicle per se, it's about the game. Because as cool as it is to show off... I was gonna say, where all my weapons go? Because as cool as it is to show off the games with the vehicles, I think it's more important to show off... I worded that wrong. As interesting as it is to show off the vehicles in the games, I think it's more important to show off the games with the vehicles, if that makes sense. So, while, yes, this vehicle is literally the same as the one in Twisted Metal Black, the game is a bit different. Now that being said, I'm still not going to be showing off Flat Out 2 or like Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition non-remix version, because those are literally the same games as the ones that I showed off, except that they have more... Oops. I blew myself up. I'm still kind of getting used to the... Yeah, I'll go ahead and quit. Still kind of getting used to the controls of this. I actually just recently completed everything of this game. I did all the Twisted Metal Lost stuff one day, and then within 3 days I completed all the Twisted Metal Head-On content. So, yeah. Challenge. Go to Stadium Slaughter. There's only 4 levels in this released content bonus whatever, so I'll be able to show them all off. Especially the last level, and I'm sure we can all, you know, figure why me of all people would want to show that off. Once again, gotta say, still not particularly great at these games. I don't know why. Just because it's not Vigilante 8, I'm just so, you know, Vigilante 8 minded. So, I guess that's the story behind it. But hey, it's another rec video. We can all be happy about that, right? And I would talk about my history with the Twisted Metal series, but I've already done that. Except now I actually have history. I have experience with Twisted Metal Head-On, which honestly was kind of the game that took me away from the Twisted Metal series because it was only released on the PlayStation Portable originally. So that really kind of... And also, I had literally played through every other game, like, right in a row. So I just got done with 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then Small Brawl, because I already had experience with Black, so I left that one alone. I may have replayed through it at that particular time. So I was just kind of had my fill with Twisted Metal. And so when Small Brawl was released, or Small Brawl, Head-On was released, exclusively for the PlayStation Portable, I was like, well, it's as good a time as any to not be interested in the Twisted Metal series. And then they released this on the PlayStation 2, and I was still kind of the mindset of, that's nice and all, but I'm already done with the Twisted Metal series. And then again, like I said, I came to the realization about what I want this series to be, more so about the games than the vehicles, but the vehicles are obviously the second most important aspect of each of the video. That's what ties all the games together. So, there we go. The weapons are different from Twisted Metal Black, but they are the same as the ones in Head-On, so I'm still slightly getting used to it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Gold Tooth, aren't you special? It's actually one of the 2 specialty vehicles that was not in Twisted Metal Black. There's this one, and then there's a character by the name of Severed Sam who drives a vehicle called 12 Pack, which I believe is a Camaro? I'm not sure. But what's interesting about what would have been Twisted Metal Harbor City is that it takes place right after the events of Twisted Metal Black, so all the characters, their bios and whatnot, all are extensions of the endings of Twisted Metal Black. So for instance, Brimstone, the character of Preacher, spoiler alert, he ends up killing himself at the end of Black. So what you see right now is the vehicle being driven by the ghost of Preacher. And there's this, like, specialty backstory where, like, if you see Preacher's ghost, then you end up dying in a car crash within a week or something like that. So every character in this game has that kind of specialty continuation story from the endings of Twisted Metal Black. So I think that's pretty cool. Gold Tooth. Gold Fool. Yes, high-pitched repent. You know, I'll go ahead and quit out of this just so I can get to the other levels a little quicker. I do want to show them all off, because for people that don't have this, you know, they've never seen this, and if they're fans of Twisted Metal Black, but they don't have this one, then I don't know why they wouldn't. Every single time you gotta do that. Oh, no, nope, 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 nope. Not story, not story, not story. Challenge. Go. Carnival of Darkness. So I have experience with all the games in the Twisted Metal series except for the 2012 one. still holding off on that one, especially if there are so many other games in series that I want to get more so into. What's a good one? Just Cause is good. What else? What else? Maybe Driver. It's kind of hard to say right now. But there are definitely a lot more game series that I want to get more enveloped into, more so than getting Twisted Metal 2012. Although, that would be the only game in the series that I would get because, again, I already experienced 1, 2, 3, 4 in Small Brawl. So I don't really feel the need to get them back. And at this moment I have Black and Head On, so I figure I'll just keep them now that I have them. So really I would only feel the need to buy 2012, which not for nothing looks cool, and I don't believe there's any DLC, so that's always nice. I'm trying to think, oh, sliding, skidding. I'm trying to think if there's any other points that I wanted to make about this. I've talked about the story, I've talked about... Well, I guess one thing I could talk about is the reason why all this content was released in the first place. It's a bit of a urban legend, myth, whatever you want to call it, but the team that was developing Twisted Metal Harbor City, a lot of the members allegedly died in a plane crash, and the production of the game halted because of that. And then out of nowhere, I can't remember if it was after the release of Head On or something of that nature, but all of a sudden the remaining members of the team received a haunting note saying that the dying wishes of the people that died in the plane crash would be for all this content to be released to the public, you know, their hard work to be shown off and all that sort of stuff. And then it goes into some specialty code in the Paris level of Head On, or maybe Twisted Metal 2, I'm not really sure. Same level, but different game. Different games. So, allegedly, that's the backstory. There's a lot of speculation about whether that's even true or not. You know, it makes for a great story. That's kind of the point that everybody's making about the whole deal. Axel. Oh, high-pitched repent. The repentance. Oh, he's ramming. He's ramming. Alrighty. Uses time to show off the last level. I guess I could talk about Head On a little bit, even though this video is really not about Head On. But what's really cool is that it really is... It feels like the true sequel to Twisted Metal 2, because it features every vehicle from Twisted Metal 2, not the same drivers per se, but the same vehicles, as well as Crimson Fury from Deathport. Oh yeah, it's just a bunch of big boats. It features Crimson Fury from the original, and then 3 new characters created specifically for that game. The only absentee is Minion, which was a big staple in all of the games. It was in 1, 2, 3, 4, and Black. But ever since then, the character slash vehicle has been scrapped, so... Well, technically, Minion, the character, was only in 1, 2, 3, and I guess 4. Even though he was one of those, like, super secret specialty characters, or vehicles that didn't really have a driver, so it was more so about the... Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. It was more so about the driver than, or, it was more so about the vehicle than the driver, that's what I mean to say. And then in Black, the character was Marcus Kane, who was a reoccurring character ever since number 2. But ever since Black, the character slash vehicle of Minion has been scrapped and hasn't been back yet, which is kind of a bummer. As, you know, as a staple of the series, that'd be like getting rid of Mr. Grimm or you know, Spectre or something like that. Now that I think about it, I don't think Twisted Metal 2012 has Spectre in it. They have a lot of their own, like, specialty vehicles and whatever, but, eh. Whatever floats your boat. Speaking of boat, oh god. I got a janky PS2 controller, I'm sorry. I guess I could have turned the vibration off and that would have prevented that from happening, but I'm too lazy to do that. What was I saying? Oh, speaking of boats, this whole level takes place across 3 abandoned ships, which is, you know, just my all-time favorite, as we all know. Oops. Come on now. Once again, I gotta say, when I played through this game initially, I did it with cheat codes because I'm lame like that. Because I just wanted to experience the game. That's pretty much all I can think about saying about this game. You know, great. It's just nice to see all this bonus content that was already made for the series actually come to the light of day. So, and it's also nice to be able to play head-on on a system that I own, not having to rely on not having to rely on getting a handheld, which I have never had any interest in getting. So, oh, freeze! The freeze attacks. I hate the freeze attacks. Oh, leaping so good, jumping like Mario Kart. Oh, I gotta destroy at least one person. Come on, outlaw. Oh, stop it! You will not. There we go. There. But you know, we're actually pretty close to the end of this match. There's only 4 opponents left. Perhaps I'll actually see this to the end, especially because this is my favorite level of the 4 unreleased titles. Hey, Axel, how you doing? Kinda running into me there. Kinda wish you wouldn't. Oh goodness. This game's weird. You accelerate with square instead of X in, like, you know, any other game released before the PlayStation 3 that involves driving a vehicle. It's kind of trippy, but I'm getting used to it. And then if I go from this straight to Vigilante 8, then that'll be trippy as well. I'll be like, why am I braking? I'm pressing square. That's what goes forward. Oh wait, no it isn't. That's in a different game. Haha. Boom. 3 left. These fools over here. What do we have here? Huh? Somebody's just leaping. Leaping Lanny. Oh, is that Severed Sam? Oh, ouch. You hit me so good. Yeah, 12-pack. There we go. That's one of the other bonus vehicle. I don't want to waste a special like that, but you know what? I will. Get out of here, 12-pack. You're not even special enough to make it into the full game. The character of Severed Sam is very similar to No Face, where his head got chopped off in a professional race, like a circuit race, and a couple of psycho fans stole it. And so he entered this contest to get revenge on the people that stole his head. That's why his name's Severed Sam. Got him! Oh, let's let his dark side, which is my favorite vehicle of this. What's going on? Got him. Oh! Wow, what a... Oh, low health. Yay, I won, finally. Okie doke, I'm leaving it off here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time for the next Psych's Wreck. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, I just wanted to use this time to show off, there's actually some specialty concept art about Brimstone, the vehicle, that was put into the Extra Twisted Edition. So I thought I would just show this off before I forgot about it.